Good morning. My name is Afolabi Ajiwaye, popularly known as Mario Afolabi, and I'm a I'm a mentor to on the Traders Hub. So, and I want to welcome you to my catch up series, which I will be doing every Tuesday from now on. And this morning we'll be looking at Euro USD. So that's what we're going to use and look at this morning. So for Euro USD, for me, when I come to my chart to analyze trade, I normally start from either weekly or daily. And the reason why I do that is for me to know the real trend of the market. It's going to give me a better outlook of what is going in the market, what's going on. Is it an uptrend? Is it a downtrend at the higher time frame? And when I get to know that, it gives me to know what to be looking out for and what to trade. Now, if you look at Euro USD, let's look at Euro USD now on the daily. And there's something I also look at, which also help my trading, and that is market structure. And for me to look at, even on the higher time frame, do we have a break of structure yet? For me to know, okay, if the trend is about to change or you're going to continue. So for this, for Euro USD, if you look at it, we will see that okay, we see that this is an uptrend. The uptrend started from somewhere like this. Somewhere here. This is where we have break of structure. Look at it. We've been having, let me minimize it so we can see. Okay. We'll be having something like this is a downtrend, although not very clear, but more or less we'll be having some kind of range here. And here we have what we call break of structure and the test. Then this gives us the clear true picture of it. And what happened here again was that the market was ranging. The market was also ranging here again. Then before it shoots out of that range of the ranging area. So this is the daily time frame. So normally when I get to this, I know that presently, okay, the market is in an uptrend. The market is in an uptrend. But now when we look at what is happening presently in the market, we need to ask ourselves a question that, okay, is it that the uptrend, has stopped? And are we going to have a downtrend that is about to start now? Because if we look at this, we still see that, okay, this is higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We have another higher high, but we now have a low, lower than the low. So this is more or less like a lower low. Then we have lower high now. We have lower high now. Then are we going to have something like a lower low again, probably coming to this support, this resistance support, this area? Then maybe we see it breaking, or we see another lower high. Then we see lower, we enter into this range market, retest. You understand what I'm trying to say? So that's another thing that can happen. And at the same time, it can we have it come back to this area and started going up again? what I mean by that is, can we, if you look at this area too, we can see that, okay, we have a ranging market here, then we have, this is, we have, start having low highs after this high, this something like a double top. So we have a lower high, we have a lower low, we have another lower high. Look at it. Now we now have what's it called? We have a higher, an higher that is a lower that is higher than this lower, so we can call it higher low. Then we have higher high, we still have lower, but what happened here is that after this we see it breaking out of this, even closing above this, and went up, give us another higher high. So we need to be looking at two scenarios for this market. So, and like I said, the reason why we come to higher time frame, or why I normally come to higher time frame, is for me to have a better picture of what is happening in the market. For me to have better picture of what is happening in the market. That's the reason why I come to daily. And if you look at this, like I said, now this has broken our higher low. We now have a lower low, and we have a what, lower high here. You can see it. It's coincide with this support and resistance. This is a resistance, came here, it's turned to support. Look at it, broke it, came back to retest it as resistance, and look at it, it's going down. So for me, after marking out those areas and knowing that, okay, this is what is happening on the daily, and I have this area mark out, this mark out, this mark out. The next thing for me, and of course, I know this is on normally is an uptrend, but I see something like, is it that it's now changing to a downtrend? Are we, you understand what I'm trying to say? But for me to be very sure of this downtrend now, to say, okay, we are now in a downtrend, for me, I needed to break the low, this low, this too low. Once I see it, then I'm confident, because like I said, we can still have something like this come to this area, then the uptrend can continue. But when I see break below this to this low now, then for me, I'm confident that, okay, what I'll just do is I'll just look for a retest. I'll look for a retest. This is what I'm saying. Once I see it breaking below this, sorry, I mean, so once I see it breaking below this, then I will be looking for a retest. Once I see a retest, then of course we continue the lower high, lower low system. So now we can now go to the lower time frame. Let's go to our E4 to see what we can get to trade and what the market is also projecting on lower time frame. Note, I actually don't pick trade on daily. Like I said earlier on, what I do is I go on to daily just for me to have a wonderful snakes as in picture of whatever is happening on the pair. And that will actually aid my decision and to know which direction I'm going to trade. And if you look at the daily, let's go back. We have something like an engulfing, the candle yesterday that formed is an engulfing. You see, this is it. We have something like an engulfing. So for me, but when you look at it very well, this area also is an important area that the market really have to break. This area is an important area. This touch one, touch two, this is the third touch. It's an important area that the market has to break for us to be confident that, okay, the sell it's gonna happen. So what we are expecting is probably a break of it, then retest of this area, then come back to this, then we see what will play out on this line, which is a resistance zone support. Then that will help us take decision. So now after that, after having that area, so mark out again, then I go to my H4, come to my H4. So now you can see now that these areas that have been marked out on daily, you can see it coincide with support and resistance of our H4. Look at these two. This is the first touch, second touch. Then we are having something like, although there is a week that comes to this level, and we have something like third touch. Now, this trade yesterday, the sell, okay, as I was saying, we now started having lower highs and lower lows, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high. Then this place we have something like a fake out. Then the lower highs start again, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. We have another lower high, we have another lower low. So I didn't use you see this trade yesterday. I do okay. I think this started on 29, which is Friday. But for now, let's talk about the present market. So what are we looking at, or what are we expecting in the market for now? Another thing I use that also helped me in my decision is I also use my trend line to see what is going to play out. So we have that. I have my trend line here, and that shows us that we have a third touch on Friday, which is 29. Then it started dropping. We have a third touch on Friday 29th, then it started dropping. Now, what do we watch out for? How do we now take this trade? So what we are waiting for on Euro USD presently now is we are waiting for it to break this line, this support. Then we wait for a possible retest. Wait for a possible retest. Then we see if it's going to go down. Now I'm looking at for me to take this trade. If I can take this trade, I'm looking at the number one scenario is wait for a candle that was going to break, a bearish candle that is going to break this support. Then we have a retest, which will give us another lower high. Then we have it going down. Then probably we can have another lower high and coming back to this zone. Now, note this lower high, it can actually we can actually have something like a fake out even inside this zone before it starts going down again. So what I'm trying to say is just watch out for this area. So let's watch out for this area. Let's see. So the retest can be back to this area. Yeah, the pullback can be back to this area. Then we have something that we have it continue to go downward. Now, so that's the first. I'm looking at the first scenario I'm looking at when it comes to Euro USD. Then the second scenario I'm actually looking at is this. are we going to have, is it going to serve as something like a triple bottom or whatsoever? Then are we still going to have a push up back up to this side, coming back to this trend line, having a fourth touch, they're probably coming down or breaking this trend line. Now, if you are looking to buy, if you are looking to buy, or we feel like okay, the uptrend is going to continue, it is safe to buy. It is safe to buy when we have something like this push up, breaking this that resistant line, then we see a retest on that area. You understand? They start moving up. And there's one thing I want to tell you guys. I used to say, when you want to buy, never buy on an on a higher high. Always buy at a higher low level. What I'm trying to say is this: some people make some kind of mistakes. And what is that mistake? Once they see it breaking out, and they see it breaking out and probably closing a little above this, what they do is they just enter that buy immediately. And before you know it, two things can actually happen. This can actually be something like coming back to this, they start coming down. But you have to wait for you to see that okay, you have a higher high, you have another higher low, then you buy at this zone at the higher low level. You buy at the higher low level, then you can make the next resistance, which is somewhere higher, your TP. Now, let's talk about the sell. For some people now, once they see this, or probably once they see this one candlestick, the next thing they do is they just sell. If you look very well, you know that this level, or for some people, they just see that, oh, this thing is going to go. See, like they look at it selling. They now sell at this level. Never sell on a lower low. Never sell on lower low. Whenever you want to sell, always look for lower highs to sell the market. That's another take home lesson. Never sell on a lower low. Always sell on, you can only sell on this level, this level, this level, this level. Those are lower highs. Never sell on this level. Never sell on these levels. Never sell here. Never sell on those levels. Because those are higher, lower lows. And once you have lower lows like that, the next thing that is going to happen is there's going to be retracement. And before you know it, it's going to take you out of your stop loss, put you in unnecessary panic, and and you just see your headset be coming there, or you can just, most people, they will just not be patient. The truth is, you can actually hit your stop loss. So the best you can do, you have a job, the best you can do is never sell on lower lows and never buy on higher highs. Never do that. So now for Euro USD, like I said, that's our projection. But let's look at, there's one thing that I also look at to help my decision when it comes to USD pairs, and that's the DSY, the US index. The DSY, the US index. So let's look at the US index. Let's see what is happening to it. And that actually helped my decision for me to know whether Euro USD is still going to sell, or the buyers are coming to the market. Let's look at what is wow. Okay, we go to daily. Okay, if you guys can see very well, you understand that okay, on the DSY we've been on a downtrend for a long time, since 28th of March. be on the downtrend for a long time, and the DSY have been selling for a very long time, since March 2020. Okay, so what are we now? Now, the state we are now at is this. We have something like, okay, the trend is changing. This is, we have lower high here, we have lower low. This is another lower high. Then something like higher low. This low is higher than this. Then do we call this another higher high? Lower. But now, for me, this is not visible yet until I see it breaking out, because I still call this area, I can still call this area or term it a range area. So not until I see it breaking out of this range. Let's see, within the next few days, are we going to have the DSY breaking out of this range? And if you see, that is exactly what Euro USD was saying too. When I said, okay, we are going to look at that range, that range, is it going to test that where that range started and move over, or is it going to break out of it? So now, what we are expecting of DSY, for me to be confident that, okay, DSY is actually ready to buy, is I'm waiting for, I'm waiting to have something like this on my DSY, breaking out of this range, then probably a retest of it, then seeing it going up. And that will also help my decision on Euro USD, DP USD, to know, okay, is the dollar going to be stronger? And once the dollar is going to be stronger, automatically, the euro is going to be weak. So definitely on Euro USD, you sell. This DSY actually helps me a lot when analyzing Euro USD, AUSD, or GBP USD, or USD CHF. But normally the pairs I trade is AUD USD, Euro USD, GBP USD when it comes to USD pairs. So it helps me to take my decisions and also know, okay, what is the market printing? What direction is the market going? So in the next few days, maybe 1, 2, 3 days, we can see a push out of this region. Once we have a push out, then we look back for a retest. And once we have a retest, we see that, okay, this probably will give us another higher high, higher low, then we have another higher high, then we have another higher low, then the movement start going up. Now, after seeing on there, let's look at H4 and see what is happening on DSY. Okay, this is our H4. So as I said this is still like a ranging area. You can see coming. But when you look at H4, you can see something like we started having something like higher highs, higher lows, higher low. Then, but for me, it's still a ranging area. So the best bet for us is to watch out for a break of this ranging area. Then probably a possible retest, then we'll see it going up. So now, like I said, this is just for me. I don't trade DSY. It's just for me to correlate it with my decision analysis on Euro USD that we've done. You can see this has been going up gradually. This is going up gradually. See, come down, up, down, up. Are we going to have another lower, higher low? Then we have it going up. But the trend to me is going to change, or I would say the trend has changed immediately I see a breakout of this region, of this area. Then we test, have a higher high, higher low, then like that. So that means if we can have that, then automatically, once we can have this, automatically the first scenario I painted on the Euro USD is definitely going to happen for the next few days, or let me say few weeks. So if you can have something like this, if you can have something like this, then that scenario is going to definitely play out. So let's go back to our Euro USD. Euro USD. Okay. So on our Euro USD, as I was saying, like I said if the scenario on the DSY played out by buying up, then what we are looking at is this. Let's just wait for this. For you to, before you pick this trade, wait for a break, giving us another lower low, then finally a retest to this zone, giving us lower high. Then at this level, once you see that retest to that zone, then what you just watch out for is you watch out for your price action. Watch out for price action. You either watch out for an engulfing or a doji or something like a rejection candle. Then you take your trade. For me, when I want to pick trade, once I start having my confirmation, what I do is I actually go to H1 to pick my trade. I go to H1 to pick my trade. Okay, let me just give you an example of what I'm saying. Let's look at this area. Now, this trade here, let's take for example, I'm looking to pick this trade here. So apart from the fact that okay, this is the third touch on my trend line, another thing I can see is I will use my fee to see what level of price reversal zone is that. So when I'm doing my fee, of course, draw it from here to here. Let me adjust my fee. So now, if you can see, you will discover that this is a rejection on 78.6 level, price reversal level. So let's take it out. Let me just show you how I pick my trade on 1 hour. After getting all those confirmation, so I've seen this rejecting, and this is still not a confirmation for me. This candle, after the close of this candle, is not a confirmation for me to enter that trade because I don't have an engulfing candle, and this candle does not mean, it's not even showing any kind of rejection whatsoever. Does not mean that okay, it's going to sell. So what do? Let me draw a rectangle on that area. Okay. I'm going to that time frame. Let's go to 1 hour. Good. So this is the area. This is the area where we have it touching the trend line the third time. Then look at what happened, the price actions and the likes. Look at this. Look at this. What happened there? So now, how do we enter, or what will make you to enter this trade? Even on H1, I'm not saying something very clear, but I think, okay, for me now, this is how I enter on my H1. Now, after having this put a bearish, you have something like a bullish, you see it going up. Now, this candle does not give me engulfing, or does not engulf the last candle. Now, what I mean by this is this. If I don't see it engulfing both the body and the wick, then it's still not a confirmation for me. This next candlestick too does not engulf this or close below. The body does not, once I see the body not closing below the previous week, then I don't have a confirmation to sell yet. This one, same thing happened. This one, same thing happened. The body does not close below the wick. Can you see? Now, what happened? We start having a bullish candle, bullish. But for me, this is my confirmation to sell. This is engulfing. I have the body of this closing below the wick of this, and it engulfing this three bullish candlestick. I see it closing below, so this gives me the confirmation. So this will be my entry point. At the close of this candle, I have my entry point. Now, once you have your entry point, your stop loss automatically have to be above this level. Above this level. Above this level. That's where your stop loss automatically have to be. And look at it. So look at the trade. So this is our entry. Stop loss, okay. 28 pips. Then our TP, our target. Bring it back to this zone. That's support. So that's it. Ratio 1 to 2.4. So you are risking 28. You are risking 28 pips, and you are gaining 67 pips. So that's how I pick my trade on lower time frame. But when you look at it, if you have to go to what's it called? You have to go to higher time frame, H4. Let's see. Okay, I've marked where the entry is. That's the line. Let's go to H4 and see where we really have the confirmation to sell. Okay, I think we have the confirmation at almost similar, but what I'm trying to tell you is this. You know, most times you don't have it at almost similar, and the best bet for you is go to lower time frame like H1 to get your entry. Now, for me, I probably not sell at this level, even at the close of this H4 candle, because I still don't see the body closing below this week. That's the truth. So, and when you are looking at it, okay, maybe you are waiting for this kind of engulfing. Are you going to sell at this point after getting this engulfing? No. So even after doing your analysis of H4, for me, I don't pick trade on H4. That's the truth. I pick my trade on H1. I have my entry on H1 or 30 minutes at a time. And I've shown you guys how I pick my trade on H1. So to round this session up, like I said, our projection on what's it called? Our projection on Euro USD is for it to break this zone, this support, then see a possible retest, and also see a possible retest, which will give us another lower high, then we are good to go. Then you watch for your price action, just like I told you, you can go to H1 to get your price action and you sell. So let me just draw it. Then, so what we are looking at is this. We are looking for a scenario like this. Then, yeah. something like that. So this is where we look for our entry. This area, this is where we look for our entry. So that's the projection I have. But like I said, always look at possible other things that can happen. We only trade what we see. We don't trade what we think. Trade what you see on the chart. Don't trade what you see. So another scenario can happen and we can start having something like a buy coming to this trend line again. You understand what I say? Trade only what you see. What you see. What of if we have it coming back to this trend line, then still have it come down again. So watch out for this area too. You can use your fee, watch out for price action, then you can enter the trade. So I'll close it. Trade what you see. That is just my own projection for Euro USD. What I see Euro USD and what we'll be looking out for. Thank you and God bless you all. See you guys again next week Tuesday. And next week Tuesday, we'll be talking about Vanna. We'll be analyzing Vanna V75 majorly. And I'm going to tell you guys how to analyze what we need to expect for that week. Thank you. And God bless.